All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to CAGcast episode number 752. I'm your host, GPD, here in Long Island, New York. And as always, we're joined by a man who loves a good unsuccessful boycott, Wombat.
It's like my bread and butter. It's all I do, or unsuccessful boycotts.
Woo! Yes.
I mean, I don't think I've ever, well, whatever, it doesn't matter.
Has there been a successful boycott? What would that entail anyway?
I mean, yes, it's called the bus boycott in Alabama. You
well,
may have heard of
you
it.
were not a part of that, though.
How do you know?
I
was. Me and my good friend, Rosa
Yes.
Parks, you may have heard of her. That was a successful boycott.
This week. This is racist, I think.
I don't think so.
You're
I just said I was with her, on her side.
I'm canceling you right now.
I think that makes me the opposite of...
But the biblical sense? Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, I had a long-term affair with Rosa Parks.
Now you're really canceled.
I think so.
You get that
Why?
fake canceling from earlier.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Anyway, welcome to the show. We're going to cancel everybody throughout this show, including all of us. We're back after being off for a week. What's been going on?
I mean, not a ton. I went into the city over the weekend, which I haven't done in a long time, because a fellow cheap-ass gamer, longtime site user and show listener and all that stuff, ODX, invited me and my family to his sister-in-law's perfumery in downtown Manhattan, the Fragrance Shop.
That's the name of it?
That's the name of it. We went downtown, and didn't realize this. They open at noon on Sundays, but he said, "Oh, come on down at around 10:30." So I went there at 10:30, and we had the store to ourselves for.
You had all those fragrances to yourself?
Well, what you do is you go and you smell like 100 different scents, and you pick 6 of them.
What's the name of the store?
The Fragrance Store.
Oh, store. Okay.
Fragrance Shop. Now you're making.
Oh man, I don't see either of those things. Oh, I spelled fragrance wrong, though. That could be it.
That'll be the reason. And it's downtown on East 4th Street in Manhattan. And you pick six scents.
It's Fragrance Shop.
Fragrance Shop. That's what I said the first time. Okay.
Yep.
And oh, he's in the chat. And you blend the 6 scents together, and you make your own signature fragrance. So you have a scent that's uniquely yours. And it's a lot of fun, actually, to go through all the different smells and to figure out what you're going to do. And you have to go outside and smell things because things smell different outside than they do inside.
What if it's raining?
Well, then you don't go.
To the store?
Yeah, the store. The store just shuts down. It folds in on itself.
That's bad. Bad business.
Yeah, But no,
so can you choose from farts as one of the fragrances?
Yeah, farts is one of the fragrances. My family had a lot of fun, and it was a very nice thing for OD to do.
They should have elephant farts, all kind dog farts.
And then after we went to a restaurant called the Black Ant, which is a Mexican restaurant where they serve guacamole with black ants in it.
Oh, A&T.
A&T.
I thought you were A-U-N.
No, now who's the racist?
That wouldn't be a Mexican restaurant
that
probably.
anymore. Yeah.
But and that was cool too. I had never had ant guacamole before.
That's a scam.
I mean, it was still good.
Why would you want ant guacamole?
I don't know. I think there's some.
Is that how they ate it in Mexico back in the day?
I think there's a traditional version of guacamole with ants in it.
That's just because they didn't have saran wrap back then.
Is that what it is?
Yes, and they were the ants got in there, they got stuck, and they died, and they're like, oh, que lástima, and then they just ate it anyway.
Why? How did the show just go from
history
fine
to history show?
Yeah, to history. That's what it is.
Super accurate.
I wasn't going to say
history
anything
show?
about you being racist again.
What? What was racist about that? Ants?
I don't know.
Is that a race?
Que lástima. Yeah.
That means what a pity.
But anyway, it was a really fun day. We also went to Toy Tokyo. So we, so
this isn't getting any better on the racism here.
Yeah, why are you culturally appropriating everything in the trip?
Okay,
except for fragrance. Except for fragrance.
Glow in the dark.
Fragrance is global.
Yep.
You bought a toy Tokyo. Yeah, is that a muscle? Is that a muscle guy?
No, it's a universal monster. I was hoping to get a Frankenstein, and I got a mole man. What can you do?
Throw it in the garbage, right in the garbage.
Yeah, and we got the little bear brick. That's what Elliot wanted. So
And you got nothing.
that's his. That's his, not mine. It just
Nice.
happened to be next to my desk.
So did you get a fragrance for yourself?
I didn't get one, but my wife, daughter, and son all did.
Nice.
They all got their own. And Elliot and I worked on his together. So his,
It's
I
like
guess,
it's
it's like it's mine. We share it.
yours.
But my son's been wearing cologne to school every day.
Oh
this
my
week,
God.
which is
That's
also
completely
kind of
inappropriate. What grade is he in?
6th.
Yes, I would be sending a note home if I was the teacher. What is happening over there?
Your son smells too swarthy for me, and I can't concentrate in class.
There's too many farts in that mixture. You added one part too many
There's
farts.
There's a little bit of musk. There's some musk in there.
Eesh, it's wrong. Ship, what about you? Did you lather yourself in farts this weekend? Oh, you had a bad football experience this weekend.
I did.
Yeah, didn't your team lose or did they win?
That was 2 weeks ago.
That was 2 weekends ago.
Oh, but we didn't talk about it. Yeah, did we?
No. Do we need to talk by
Do
the
you feel
Bengals
sad?
lost?
Are you mad or happy?
I'm fine. I mean, you have to
How mad do you
understand.
get when you're watching the game when stuff goes bad? Because they were talking about this on Howard Stern.
I was upset at some of the ridiculous
But what is
things
you
that were
upset?
going on
Like, what does
with the
that really
referees in
mean?
that game.
I know the officiating was bad, but when you get upset, what is that like?
I go to the other room and do some laundry.
You're not like throwing punches in the air.
No.
Yeah.
I may like just shout out like a one word, like, or a couple words, like, you got to be kidding me, or
But not
what
like
is this?
not even like fuck this shit or anything like that.
No, not. I mean,
You have a big house. You could do it.
I'm watching it with my kids and everything too,
Oh,
right?
But you could go to the laundry room.
There was some real shady calling in that game.
It was not the prettiest of refereed games. I have no problem with the Bengals losing that game. I think both teams could have won it either way. It was an evenly played game. It's just there was some calls that were like, they have lost control of this game.
How could you lose control of a football game? It's just like, it's not like a hockey game where the guys could always be fighting each other. They're just like,
no, it wasn't even the game. The players were fine.
Just the calls were so bad.
It was, they had a play where it was loud there, right? It's a football stadium.
Yeah,
and it's one of the
drunk.
loudest. It's one of the loudest football stadiums. And they had a play where they set the ball down for the other team for the Chiefs to run a play.
Okay.
Right. The Chiefs run the play, don't get the first down. It's third down. They send their punt team out to punt it for 4th down. So the Bengals are going to be getting the ball.
Uh-huh.
Then it turns out one of the other refs was trying to blow his whistle because the clock started early before that previous play.
Okay. But
so they took the punt team off, brought the other team back.
They did the play over?
And did a do-over on the play.
They did like it was 5th grade backyard.
Right.
I don't think I've ever seen a do-over in a football game before.
Well, not only did they do a do-over, but I believe, didn't they do a do-over twice?
They did a do-over earlier in the game, but on that one, they let the play go on and let Joe Burrow take a hit and then said, no, there was a false start on that play. Oh. And so they let the whole play go. It's normally a thing where they call it dead, like,
right. So to save time and people from getting hurt, I guess.
Right. So then the Bengals had to replay that down after already getting their quarterback.
Sounds like such a waste of time.
If I was into conspiracy theories and a gambler, I would say maybe there was some sort of fix going on, but that wouldn't happen in professional sports, especially now that gambling is legal in most states. Why would something crazy like that happen?
Yeah. Again, I'm not blaming the refs at all for that. The Bengals losing that game. It was either team could have won that game regardless of these calls.
Right.
It was just like people were trying to watch this game and there was numerous calls of like, what's going on? There was another one, like there was a pass interference on the Bengals and like both announcers were just like, I didn't really see anything there. Like at the replay. So there was a bunch of stuff that was
sounds annoying.
And then the game ended on a rightfully called roughing call out of bounds where their quarterback Mahomes was running the ball.
Okay.
And one of the Bengals players was chasing him to prevent him from like continuing on down the field. And Mahomes stepped out of bounds, and like you've got like a 350-pound dude like chasing Mahomes, right? And he's chasing him all the way to the sideline to make sure he goes out of bounds. And then when he gets to the sideline, Mahomes is slowing down, and the Bengals player puts his hands up, like not knowing exactly where he is, but puts his hands on his back and gives him a light shove, and then Mahomes goes flying, and there's like 8 seconds left in the game at that point, right? That gives them an additional 15 yards to where they can get into field goal range and win the game as time expires.
And they do.
What a waste of time. Don't you feel bad when you watch something like that? Do you feel bad that you spent so many hours this year watching football?
No, I don't, because at the end of the day, the Bengals were seconds away to going to a Super Bowl for the second time in 2 years.
But it didn't happen for some stupid reasons.
They could have won the game in plenty of other places, right? Like they were right there in the game the entire time.
And they played a really good season. You don't always have to win the Super Bowl. Winning the Super Bowl isn't what makes a season successful. You can have a successful season without winning the Super Bowl. Making it to the championship game is a successful season. Making it to the playoffs when no one expects your team to make it to the playoffs can make it a successful season, like the Jaguars, for example.
This is the fourth best season the Bengals have ever had. This is number 4.
Great, and you were there almost.
Right.
On TV.
Success is a relative thing in
exactly,
sports.
That's what I'm saying. I watched some girls' high school hockey this weekend, and for free.
I hope you were invited.
Yeah, I just show up, scream. It was funny because Ty's friend is the goalie, and there's plenty of seats to choose from. So we sat where all the people were, because we figured be a little social, whatever, and that's where the best seats are, obviously, as well. But immediately, it's only the kids' parents, and they're all just the whole game. They're just yelling at the ref. They're yelling at the players, and immediately, Mrs. Cheapy turned to me. She's like, "Should we move?" I'm like, "Well, no, we can't move now." But I don't know. It's cute. It was pure, right? And there's no fighting, no commercials. The whole thing's over in 45 minutes. The whole game is over. Maybe not 45 minutes, but less than an hour for sure. It's over. It's good. Haven't watched the hockey game in a long time. That's it. That's all I got.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you were going somewhere with that.
We tried to go to, we were trying to parlay that into a dinner at K-Pot. Do you know about K-Pot, Wombat?
No.
It's the new all-you-can-eat hot pot / barbecue place that opened up in Carl Place, I guess.
Oh, I'll have to go there. Nope, I did not.
By all the malls and shit.
Yep.
In that new mall with the weird name. The new old mall. Samea or something like that.
Oh, yeah. It's over where the Source Mall used to be?
Yes. So we went there, and they don't take reservations. We went there after the hockey games. It was so close, and it was like a 2-hour wait.
That's crazy.
So we're like, fuck that. Let's just make a reservation at Benihana. And then there was a huge fire next door to Benihana, so we couldn't go. We couldn't even get there.
My parents were up by you that night, and they had to go drive around in a big circle to get to where they were going.
You could not literally get to Benihana. Mm-hmm. They could not have any patrons that night.
They were going. I forgot where they went. Some steakhouse up there, but
delicious. It's delicious steak and Benihana.
Yep.
Anyway, what about you, Ship? Anything exciting happening?
Did you eat any steak or Japanese food in the last 2 weeks?
I did. I had some steak. I didn't eat any Japanese food in the last 2 weeks, but I did have some steak. Yes.
I don't know if I know. I think I had Japanese food in the last 2 weeks. I didn't think about it.
Yeah. FragTube in the chat says, respect for Mrs. Cheapy for tolerating Benihana. She loves Benihana. Japanese people like Benihana. We've brought real authentic Japanese people from Japan, direct from Japan to Benihana.
Is it like Japanese McDonald's to them?
No. It's
like McDonald's isn't really a cheeseburger. It's like the shitty version of a cheeseburger.
Japanese.
No. It's not a good analogy. Maybe you can come up with a good analogy. In Japan, that type of meal is very high end and expensive.
I understand that.
Right. So, but here it's obviously, it's not cheap, but relative to Japan, it's a fraction of the price. And in Japan, normally you wouldn't bring like your kids. It's some, usually they're in hotels and fancy and shit. So to bring a Japanese person to Benihana, they're experiencing something like different, right? It's the same food, more of it, not as good a quality, but the price is, it's like a fifth of what it would cost.
Like going to Chili's? Is that?
No, I don't.
Exactly like Chili's.
No.
Or Outback? Is it like Outback Steakhouse as
like
opposed to
Australian to Outback?
I don't think so. What's like something that would be high end that you would only consider high end and never really experienced a family friendly version of it with where they're doing a show also while they're cooking. You got it? You can't wait to talk.
I was going to say, like Longhorn Steakhouse or Outback Steakhouse are family-friendly versions of a more expensive place. Like it's not the Palm, it's not Smith and Walensky, it's not the Old Homestead or Peter
Doesn't
Luger's.
feel right to me somehow. I know what you're saying. I hear you loud and clear. It doesn't feel quite right to me.
But it's exactly the same comparison.
The steakhouse is more not that.
You don't really take a kid to Peter Luger's.
But there's so many of those like low-end steakhouses around. Sizzler.
Are there?
Sizzler still around?
No, it's not still around.
In Japan, it is.
Mm-hmm.
They're killing it there.
Yeah.
Anyway, what was the point? Oh, Benihana. So we took Japanese people to Benihana, and they fucking loved it. They ate they ate all of it. Like it's crazy. Anyway, that's the point.